Hello and welcome. Today we're diving deep into a story rarely told in history books. The lives of women in the Middle Ages, their realities, struggles, and hidden triumphs. For centuries, history has focused on kings, warriors, and male leaders. But women, they were the silent heroes, the innovators, the caregivers, and sometimes the hidden rulers whose names have been forgotten. Let's uncover the truth behind the myths and explore what it really meant to be a woman in medieval Europe. Life for most medieval women was anything but easy. Peasant women worked tirelessly from sunrise to sunset, tending the fields, caring for animals, baking bread, and managing every aspect of the household. City women were no less active. They worked as merchants, artisans, and sometimes even ran small businesses. In some towns, women could inherit property and take part in trade, though this depended heavily on local laws and customs. Education was rare but not impossible. Convents offered women opportunities to learn to read, write, and even study medicine. Some women became healers, midwives, or even scholars. These women often wielded influence quietly, shaping their communities in subtle but powerful ways. Social class, wealth, and location determined the freedoms a woman could enjoy. But even within restrictions, medieval women found ways to assert agency and creativity. History has often portrayed women as passive, obedient, and confined to their homes. But this is far from the truth. Another widespread myth is that medieval women were seen only as witches, temptresses, or sinners. While it's true that some women were accused during witch hunts, these events were fueled more by fear, superstition, and social control than by women's actual behavior. Many women were actively engaged in fields like medicine, literature, and even politics. For example, Hildegard of Bingen, a 12th century abbess, was a composer, writer, philosopher, and visionary. She advised emperors and kings, showing that women could exert influence far beyond domestic spheres. Even ordinary women often possessed knowledge that was vital to their communities. Midwives and healers played essential roles in healthcare, while skilled artisans contributed to economic life. History has often overlooked these contributions, but they were crucial for the survival and growth of medieval society. Despite restrictions, some women held extraordinary power. Queens and noblewomen often managed estates, negotiated with rival leaders, and even commanded armies in their husband's absence. Take Eleanor of Aquitaine, for example. She was not only Queen of France and later England, but also a patron of the arts and a political force in her own right. Women like her challenged the stereotype that medieval society was entirely male-dominated. Even during wartime, women played pivotal roles. Some defended castles, coordinated logistics, and maintained morale among soldiers and civilians. Their contributions often went unrecorded, but without them, medieval society could not have survived the constant challenges of warfare and political instability. Beyond queens and famous abbesses, countless ordinary women were unsung heroes. They maintained households, raised children, preserved traditions, and ensured that communities could endure. Many women managed farms or workshops, acted as local midwives, and sometimes even resolved disputes within their villages. These contributions might seem small, but they were essential to the fabric of medieval life. Women also found creative ways to influence their societies. Some wrote letters or poetry that carried political or philosophical weight. Others secretly educated younger generations, passing down knowledge that might otherwise have been lost. It's important to separate myth from reality. While medieval society placed many limitations on women, the reality was far more complex. Women were not merely passive figures. They were workers, creators, leaders, and survivors. Religious and social norms often constrained them. But within those constraints, women found ways to assert their will, protect their families, and contribute meaningfully to their communities. Their lives were a mix of challenge, ingenuity, and resilience. Being a woman in the Middle Ages was full of challenges, but it was also a story of strength, resilience, and quiet triumphs. History often celebrates men in battle or politics, but women's silent heroism, their role in sustaining families, communities, and knowledge, was equally vital. Remembering and honoring these stories not only gives us a fuller picture of history, but also inspires future generations to recognize courage, creativity, and leadership in all its forms. Being a woman in the Middle Ages was not simply about staying at home. It was sometimes quiet resistance, sometimes unseen victory, and sometimes a light shining through the shadows of history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. History is not just battles and kings. It's also the stories of silent heroes. In the next video, we'll explore more hidden lives and untold stories from the Middle Ages. See you soon.